Hari Om to all the Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. So again we are meeting to discuss Upadesa Saram of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. Let us be transported to his time and to his mind space, and let us try to understand what Bhagavan is trying to give the message through this Upadesha Saram. So Madalasa, study circle. Yes.
ಹರಿ ಓಂ ಪೂರ್ಣಿಮಾ, ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ. ಇವತ್ತು ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ರಮಣ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ ಬರ್ತ್ಡೇ.
Wonderful.
So you can also include a point on that.
Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Today the Ramana Maharshi's Jayanti. We don't say Janmadina for the enlightened people. We say Jayanti. So today Maharshi's Jayanti, day of appearance. So we are very grateful and very happy, and indeed we are blessed that we are contemplating his teachings on this holy day. So let us start with the prayer to Bhagwan.
Shall I, Purnima ji?
Yes, please.
Antaryascha bahirvidudatimiram jyotirmayam shashvatam sthanam prapya virajate vinamatam ajnanamunmulayan pashyan vishwamapi itam ullasatayo vishwasya pare paraha तस्मै श्रीरमणाय लोकगुरवे शोकस्य हन्त्रे नमः.
Very beautiful, very beautiful. Anybody else wants to chant, or shall I close? Because it says birthday, Jayanti.
Can I, Purnimaji?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Antaryascha bahirvidutatimiram jyotirmayam shashvatam sthanam prapya virajate vinamatam ajnanamunmulayan pashyan vishwamapi idam ullasatiyo vishwasya pare paraha tasmai Shri Ramanaaya Loka Gurave Shokasya Hantre Namaha.
Very nice. Very beautiful. So that is Sri Ramana for us. So he's the one who dispels the darkness of the inner and outer darkness. Jyotirmayam, and he's full of light and he's eternal, Shashvatam. That is why through his teachings, we are discussing him even to this day, eternal. And sthanam prapya virajate vinamatam ajnanam unmulayam. And he has attained that state, and he is reveling in that state, and he is dispelling the ajnana of all the seekers. Pashyan vishwamapi idam ullasatiyo. He looks at the world as a play, as a leela of God, and he enjoys it. Vishwasya pare paraha. He is in the world, but he is beyond it. Tasmai Shri Ramanaya Loka Gurave Shokasya Hantre Namaha. He is the one who dispels the shoka or the misery of all of us. How? By giving us jnana. That's all. Simple formula Ramana has for all of us. Inquire, who am I? Who is the one who is angry? Who is the one who is sad? That is the only message Ramana has given to the world. Famous as the Vichara Marga. Very famous. And I think most Western seekers find this very easy. This Vichara Marga is happily lapped up by Westerners. So he had a lot of Western disciples. Yeah. Okay. Let us go to our bit now. We have to go with shloka number 13. Right? Okay. Yes. Shloka 13. Who is supposed to help us with this?
G, me and Indra.
Yes, both of you can go one by one. Yes, Anupama.
Yeah.
Alphabetical order. Yes.
Layavināśane ubhayarodhane Layagataṃ punarbhavati no mṛtam. In the previous sloka, actually, we saw that Bhagavan is saying that mind and breath are very much related, and pranayama is one of the way to attain calmness of mind. Here again, he is further talking about that. Layavināśane ubhayarodhane. Ubhaya means both. Here he is stating two states of mind. Layam is the calmness that can be attained through pranayama for some time, and vinashana means the
Destruction.
Destruction, where there is only complete blankness or silence. That prevails ever.
Yes. Correct.
That he is talking about the two ways. Layagataṃ punaha means when the manolaya attained through pranayama or any other kind, that will punargatam, that will actually go and come back, but it is impermanent. That is the manolayam can be there only for a temporary period. But bhavati no mṛtam. But when the mind has attained the absolute, the mind has understood the absolute truth, and then it has reached the state of calmness, then there is no bhavati. It it will not go back and come again. It is not like that. Is a permanent. And how it can be attained? Rodhanaha. It can be attained through jnana marga. But it is like first we have to take up the path of manolayaha, so that we can receive the knowledge of jnana.
Correct.
And then through Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasa, we can slowly reach the manonāśaha.
Correct. Perfectly said.
For example, while we are driving or going on a long drive or long travel, there may not be any food. We may not get any food on the way. But once we see a small chota or one tea shop also, we'll go and try to have something there. Even though our we are very hungry, we cannot eat much there. We can have one chai or biscuit only there. Even then we'll go and have it there. But once we reach a certain cities or some other place, we'll go and have nicely there. So this pranayama is like on the way. One sip of chai, one cup of tea, it is like that. But we have to go through the path to get to get rid of our hunger or thirst, anything, and get satisfaction.
Nice, cute example, Anupama. Very nice. Yeah. Anyone else? Yes, Indra can share, and then we can ask questions, clear doubts, add everything. Yes.
Hari Om everyone. Hey, this one, I didn't know that. I was thinking it's Indra and it's one. I thought even for me also this is the one. No?
Oh.
No issues. Indra can do it,
It
and
was
maybe I can
14th, Padmajaji. Yours is 14th.
Yeah, Padmaja is 14th.
Howda? Maybe next time you print it over there, because I wrote it as 13th. I have not prepared for any 14th. I will do it.
It's right here. Anupama, Indra 13, Rajni, Padmaja 14, Shaila and Purnima 15. It's okay.
No issues. Maybe Rajni is there.
Even if you haven't prepared Padmaja, you can think, you can talk.
I can chant. Yes.
Share your short chat. Share your thought.
So let Indra go ahead with this.
This letter, go ahead. Yeah. All right.
About the 13th verse, when I was searching for the thing, I got a very apt explanation about Mano Laya and Mano Nasha by our Prabhuji.
Very good. Super. Very
Here,
happy.
13th verse is only mainly based on, it's just explaining about Mano Laya and Mano Nasha. What our Guruji is told is,
Yes.
mind has 4 functions: Manas, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. This is called Antahkarana. And
Correct.
ego, Ahankara, is the cause of all the problems in samsara. So meditation or dhyana, Mano Laya, which means the ego is dormant as is in sleep. So this is Mano Laya. Only through meditation, it is dormant, ego. And through only self-inquiry, Mano Nasha will happen, which destroys only the ego. Manas, Buddhi, Chitta are not destroyed.
Okay.
Only the ego is destroyed. Manas, Buddhi and Chitta are not destroyed.
Acha.
What by Manolay?
Manolay is it's dormant. Maybe in meditation and pranayama, no, it's absorbed. The mind is just
Manas is dormant, correct. But everything is in seed form still.
It is in seed form. Once we come out of the meditation, all the thoughts comes up again. That is ego. Where all the I am the body, those things and all comes up. In Mano Nasha, ego is destroyed. Manas, Buddhi, Chitta are not destroyed.
Super.
And in Manas, Buddhi, Ahankara work efficiently under the guidance of Atma for a Jnani. And Mano Nasha means destruction of ego and not the other functions of the mind.
See, that's
So
a
what
very
happens to
important
the other
point.
3 functions? How do we destroy that?
No, that is needed, no? Manas, Buddhi and all those is needed, no? Intellect and all is needed for the function.
Okay. So it is diverted towards the local kalyana and atma, this thing.
For any function of day-to-day life also, we need the Manas, Buddhi, Chitta and all are needed, right?
Okay.
Correct.
So here the intellect works under the guidance of the ego in case of an Agnani. This is called samsara. Mind is restless in Agnani because of ego. In case of Gnani, ego is destroyed. Hence the intellect works under the guidance of Sakshi. Hence the mind is silent.
Yes, important. Yes, very beautiful points.
Yeah, this is very nice. Can I repeat it again? In case of Gnani, ego is destroyed.
Ask someone else to repeat. Who has understood? Can you repeat what was said? Rajni, can you repeat what was said?
Yeah. So there are 2 aspects to mind. One is Mano Nasha and one is Mano Laya.
Not aspects, 2 states.
Okay, these are the 2 states, right? So what happens in Mano Laya, the mind is just, it goes little silent, which happens, could be due to meditation or we are in the satsang. So that time what happens, it is a layer. So it just goes very silent and very this thing. But what happens the moment that particular restraint or whatever you might say, suppose I come out of meditation or I'm out of satsang, it again comes to its original this thing and becomes restless. So it is only there for a very short period of time. But the Mano Nasha does not happen until and unless it understands the true nature of it understands its true nature, which is a self, and it is absorbed in the self. If it is absorbed in the self, then what happens? Then it becomes a nasha. Then it functions only as the self wants it to function. It just becomes the instrument of the self rather than having its own existence. And when the ego, as said by Indraji, the ego is dissolved in Manonasha. So when the ego is dissolved, it does not work. I am. The duality is not there. It just becomes an instrument of the soul and works under the guidance of the soul.
Correct. So who is in control in Laya? Which entity is in control in Laya?
In Laya, again, the mind is in control only, but it is little dormant.
In which of those 4? Manas, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. Who is in control?
I think Ahankara.
Ego. Ahankara.
Ahankara is in control in Laya. In Nasha, who is in control?
Ego is destroyed in Nasha.
That's what? Who is in control then?
The self, the
Buddhi.
Sakshi.
I
Sakshi.
think, can we say buddhi? No?
Sakshi, the purified intellect, you can say.
Correct.
Purified intellect, which has Viveka and Vairagya and all the attributes, Shama, Dama, Shakti, Sampatti, everything is there. That intellect is in control. So it's directly reporting to Sakshi and not to the ego. Yes, you also share, Padmaja, whatever you have.
I think everybody else said this. I
Okay.
just want to just repeat once. Yes. Layavināśane ubhayarodhane layagataṃ punarbhavati no mṛtam. So in this particular thing, ubhaya is two things, and rodhane means control. Ubhayarodhane is two ways of mind control. That is what he is saying. So everything else is spoken, laya and all. So laya can happen, like as they said, meditation is one. As Rajni said, satsang is another.
Sleep.
Also, when we go in deep sleep, even that also is into laya only. Because in that, when we go into deep sleep, we don't experience anything. That beautiful bliss or whatever existence, there in that there is no limitation.
Correct.
But when we wake up, everything else comes back.
Correct.
As we slept the night before, it is there. So that calmness and the beautiful thing was there, during that sleeping period. But when we woke up and then back into the same running race, the laya is gone. Okay, and everything comes back. Your anger, jealousy, vasanas, whatever is there, it comes. So what does laya means? Is a temporary suspension.
Correct.
Temporary suspension is gone. So Layagataṃ, they say. Gata means it goes. Layagataṃ, it goes into a state of laya. Punarbhavati means punabhavati. It comes back again. That is what punabhavati. And no mṛtam means none of that will come back. If you are in the destruction vinasha state, laya vinasha, then none of that will come back. None of the vasanas will come back, because now that consciousness and everything is back. So here we need to understand this mind is nothing but the antakarna. In English, we just call mind, but this mind is called antakarna, which has four parts, four aspects of it. Manas, buddhi, ahankara, chitta. So most of the time, manas is just the thoughts. But however, once everybody will, each day we say generates around 20,000 to 60,000 thoughts. But then the power comes only when we keep on generating the thought, same thought again and again and again. We ourselves will give power to that thought, and then once.
Correct.
So suddenly that same thought, which was like a seed, it gets into a gigantic, a big, huge entity. Okay? And then it sustains its identity. If you look at it, the ahankara part, which is the ego, I am the BMI, it is more biased. And then we don't use our viveka there. We work. So, there's an example, like if you are working and you have two members, team members under you working. One is working, very good, but, he's only working with his own work. He doesn't get into, doing buttering or anything of that. The other guy is very good in talking, buttering and all. And if I have to use my ahankara, then I'll say the one who's buttering, oh, he's always praising me. I'll give a promotion to him. The other guy is not talking. So that is how one works with the ahankara when the mind comes. Okay. But then the moment I work with my buddhi, the consciousness, that source, then I take a proper decision, what is required. Okay. So when ahankara is destroyed, that is means that when I work beyond my mind, beyond my body, mind and intellect, that is called no mind. There's no mind over there. We are not working with that. Only the functional mind is working as required. Correct. And once we do that, the jnanis always work in this mode, laya vinasha mode. And we should also work towards that. That's all.
Good. Very nice. Very nice. Any more inputs from anyone?
Just one more point, Purnimaji.
Yeah.
In case of manolaya of samadhi state, ego is modified from the thought I am the body to I am Brahman. It's still a thought only. Brahman is not yet recognized as a self. But in Mano Nasha, the person is established in Sahaj Samadhi. Ego does not appear in waking, dreaming, and deep sleep state.
Oh. Okay. The ego is like a burnt rope. Have you heard that often? Because a jnani will also have ego, because without ego, the body will fall. It is there, it is the entity which keeps together the body and mind intellect combination. BMI is kept together by a sense of ownership only. Otherwise, who will take care of the body? If I feel that I am not the body, then who will take care of my body? I have to take care of my car. The instrument, the body has to be taken care. So the ego is like a burnt rope, it is said. It appears to be there, but it has no this thing at all. It's ashes. If you touch it, it's just ashes. It's got no astitva. Like that, just a little amount of ego is retained by the jnani. That is what they say. We know the famous example of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. What was he doing? He used to love sweets. So he used to keep eating sweets. That was his connection to the BMI. Some vasana he was hanging on.
Jalebi in
Jalebis. Correct. Jalebis. Some vasana. Because then Sharada Mata used to be very embarrassed with this man's behavior. Always eating jalebis. She used to be embarrassed. So he told her. She made a reference of that to Ramakrishna, and he said, look, the day I stopped eating jalebis, 3 days later, you will see that my body will fall. He had that clarity that the asana is just to keep my BMI together. So that ego is just like that. And another example of a jnani's ego is Nagabhushana, a snake around Shiva's neck. The ego is there, very much there. It has to accomplish a lot of things on earth, no? Ramana has to teach, Prabhuji has to teach. All the jnanis have to give their jnana. How can they do it without ego? So for a jnani whose ego is completely destroyed, he is called a Brahma. There are 4 stages of jnanis. Brahmavid, Brahmavara, Brahmavarishta, Brahmavarenya, Brahmavarishta. Anyone knows the gradations of these jnanis? We have heard enough of it from Prabhuji. Anupama, can you recall?
Jivan Mukti class.
Yes, Jivan Mukti class. You recall for us what has been told? Tell. Brahmavid.
Brahmavid is an enlightened person, but it is not that people will be aware of he is an enlightened person. Then as the stage goes on, he will be more absorbed into the self, and communication with the society becomes less and less. But what keeps his body here is his prarabdha karma, and at the last stage only, when the prarabdha karma is to be over, he'll be quite completely absorbed in the self. Then only people will understand, yes, he is a jnani, that society will see him like that.
Anupama, I don't think that point is very correct, because Brahmavid is also recognized as a jnani. See, the four stages of these gradations is their degree of association with society. That's all, their activity. So the Brahmavids are jnanis who are very active, and their prarabdha or their preference is to teach. They make it their business to share the knowledge with the world.
And one more thing was, not all the enlightened person choose to go to the 4 stages also, because they will have their own, their own commitments to be achieved, or according to that, they will remain in one stage.
So to what degree they engage themselves in society, it decides is a Brahmavid, Vara or Varenya or Varishta. So in that Varishta stage, the ego is completely nasha. That burnt rope is also not there. In that stage, what happens? The body consciousness also completely drops. So somebody else has to take care of the jnani's body. Somebody else has to push food into the mouth of the jnani. Like that. In that Brahma Varishta stage, complete Nasha. Nasha means total Nasha. In the lower stages, they have retained some of that ego so that they can teach. So like Padmaja pointed out, there is an objective mind and subjective mind. She said functional mind. So the jnanis of the with the vara variety, they have a functional mind or the objective mind. See, all of us have got two minds, objective and subjective. Most of the time, we are struggling with the subjective mind. What does it mean? What does it mean? I go to a shop, I see hundreds of varieties of mobile phones. I reach for one brand that I like. That is subjectivity, isn't it? What is objectivity? Everything is a phone. No problem. That is subjectivity. Objectivity is also called what? There are terms for this, objective and subjective also. If the Jagat is objective or subjective, the world as God made it, is it objective or subjective?
This is objective.
Ishvara Shrishti is always objective.
Objective.
Things are just there. We are the ones who give them names and forms. And preferences. Subjective means what? Our raga dvesha. Isn't it, Anupama?
Yes, sir.
When we impose our raga dvesha on the world, we are operating from the subjective mind. When the jnani on the contrary operates from the objective mind, just as God made it. The jnani sees all of us in front of him with various degrees of foolishness, but the jnani does not look at us as fools. Very objective. We were just bodies who have not yet. We are all sleeping Buddhas is the term that that is used. Whereas we will be very happy to rush into some conclusions about people. He is like that, she is like him. We can't stop, isn't it? That is our subjective mind. So the subjective mind is what runs our lives, basically. Whereas the jnani's life is run by his objective mind. Like all of you shared, right? The Sakshi is running the jnani's life. The functional mind is running the jnani's life. Like that. The purified intellect is running the jnani's life. Whereas all of us, thoda, idhar udhar. And for us, not just this mind, this memory also plays havoc with us. No? Memory plays havoc with the ajnani. Because of the subjective mind. I see something, my mind will rush back. Oh, in the 1980s, it was like this. Okay. So, all the aspects of manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, everything is controlled by this subjectivity for the ajnani. So, for the Mahatma, no raga, no dvesha, no prejudices at all. Can you imagine such a state? So beautiful, no? No prejudices. Therefore, what's the impact of such a life? No prejudice life. What's the impact?
Happy.
Oh,
Beautiful.
He is happy, but for the others, for the world, how does he act?
When there is no judgment about anybody, it's very beautiful around you.
Yes, it's such a peace. That is why when we go to the presence of Prabhuji or Jnanis, you find peace because nobody is judging you. The person in front of you is not judging you. I think that's the greatest gift that we can give anybody because we love it. I think we should make it a habit,
Not to judge.
This is a non-judgmental person. How beautiful if I can give that vibe to someone, isn't it? So beautiful.
Yeah.
So their actions, their decisions, their words, everything is very sweet.
That's experienced every time I visit Guruji.
Yes.
Every time. Nothing else. No other thought will come. No other thought will come.
Very beautiful vibes we get from a Gnani. That's why in our Sanatana Dharma, we teach kids also, go fall at Guru's feet, God's feet. Some vibe will come to you. Yes, that is or elders also, when they see youngsters, they will bless. Always, apne aap, like that. And there's one more point I got for this particular shloka. At 5 levels, this nasha happens, I believe. Mano nasha at 5 levels. 5 aspects. This is called the anartha parampara. Anartha parampara. Anartha means disastrous. The disastrous parampara is destroyed. This is given by Shankaracharya in Atma Bodha. We have Tattva Bodha. We also have Atma Bodha of Shankara, in which he details this anartha parampara. What are these? Samsara. Samsara is anartha only. Samsara, there is no samsara. Only subjectivity brings samsara. Samsara means sorrow. Some sorrow or other is called samsara. Samsara means problems. So that is one anartha parampara. Jnani does not see samsara at all. He just sees people or things, beings, as God made them. But we, because of our raga dvesha, we create a samsara out of it. That is the one, samsara. Second, this samsara problem is overcome by viveka. So many vivekas we have learned. What are the vivekas we have learned? Prakriyas. Come on, tell us. What are the vivekas we have learned? So many vivekas. Atma, Anatma, Viveka. Isn't it? And come on. Other vivekas?
Nitya,
Nitya, Anitya, Viveka. Amele? Satya, Mithya, Viveka. Jada, Chetana, Viveka. All these vivekas we apply, and then we can come out of this samsara problem. Anartha parampara of samsara is gone. And then the second one, in Atma Bodha, Shankara says, one is samsara, second one is sukha dukkha, the duality. Something gives me happiness, something gives me dukkha. That duality that is another anartha parampara. So the sukha dukkha is overcome by vairagya. And then the third one is raga dvesha. Of course, they are all cousins only, but still, since Shankara has given it, we have to recall. One is samsara, second is sukha dukkha, third is raga dvesha, fourth is ahankara. Ahankara is the worst. It says doership, ownership, enjoyership, karta, bhokta, jnata, everything is me. That is ahankara. That is the fourth parampara, anartha parampara. The fifth is, the basis of all these four is ajnana. Ajnana is the anartha parampara, the fifth one. 5 levels. All these are, the nasha happens at all these levels. Samsara problem is gone. Sukha dukkha problem is gone. Raga dvesha problem is gone. Ahankara to it is gone. And then ajnana is the first one to go. So this is the state of a Jivan Mukta, state of no return. One-way ticket. Okay. Good. So we come.
This one you said Atma, Anatma, Viveka, Nitya, Anitya, Satya, Mithya. What is Jada?
Jada, Chetana.
Chetana. Okay, right.
Jada means inert. Allah. Chetana is one which sentient, insentient.
Okay.
Is the mind sentient or insentient, Padmaja?
Mind is Jada. Can I say?
Correct. Everything is Jada.
Yes.
It's only consciousness which is sentient. It lends a sentiency to everything. So that Vivek also. If we separate the wheat from the chaff, we will come to know that everything is chaff only. Everything is Jada. The only thing that gives sentience to it is our own self, which is consciousness. Chit. Okay. So the next this thing is 14. Chant.
I will do it. Okay.
Yes.
प्राणबन्धनालिन् मानसम् एकचिन्तनाश्रयमेत्यदाः
प्राणबन्धनात् लीनमानसम् एकचिन्तनान्नास्मेत्
मेत्यधा
एकचिन्तनान्नास्मेत् यदः. Asmet yadaḥ. Okay. So you read the meaning.
When the mind is held in suspension through breath control, it must then be completely destroyed through one pointed attention to that one reality. Now, probably, now it is said that how does the mano nasha happens? How do I go about it? Correct. So first is you restrain your mind. Is it possible to restrain our mind? Okay, let me restrain my mind. No. So let me use a technique. So first, let me restrain the mind by breath, by breathing, which is the Prāṇa bandhanāt. That is, when I focus on the mind, I can immediately come to know that my mind goes still. So let me start with breath control, which is Prāṇa bandhanāt. So then I restrain my mind. From there, then I have to go to the next stage, which is then I focus on only one thought, ekachintanāt, which is that thought, what am I? I am Atma. That is, I'll just start with that focus first. Then, dhire dhire, I should be absorbed in this thought. Then what will happen? The mind will cease to exist, which is nasha matyada. Then the mind is dissolved or destroyed. When the mind is dissolved or destroyed, all the thoughts which are dual in nature are destroyed. Only the thought which is non-dual is I am Atma. Now, when the mind is merged, and then what happens? Then it becomes an instrument of the soul. And otherwise, if it is not an instrument of the soul, but it is in duality, it works. It works from the lower nature, which is ego. But when it dissolves in the soul, it becomes an instrument of the soul. Then it is fully pratyahara. Now, so it is drawn from the lower nature, and it goes drawn from the lower nature and gone beyond the mind. Then the action is done without any lower attachment. Then the action is done by the soul itself. So,
very nice.
First step is to regulate the mind by regulating the breath. Then focus on one theory or one thought, which is dharana. Then get absorbed in that thought, which is dhyana. Then the mind ceases to exist.
Very nice. So in Drigdrishya Viveka, again, to recall, we call this as Nirvikalpa Shabdanuvid Nirvikalpa Samadhi. In that state of Manolaya, what should kick in? I am Brahman thought has to kick in. Isn't it? The words of the Veda, the words of the Guru, everything should be deployed in the state of Laya. And then one should sit in that state of focusing the mind of I am Brahman. Of course, it's not a mantra to be repeated, as all the masters tell us very, very sharply. It is not a mantra. One has to feel it. That is why Nididhyasana is very important. Otherwise, it becomes a mantra. I am Brahman, I am Brahman. Understanding has to be there. Very clear understanding has to come. Everything is mithya. And all that has to come. Actually, this and the next words are chanted together because the explanations will go for both. Anyone wants to add to this more? Ekachintanam. Self-contemplation with a sharp and focused mind. See, that is what Mano Laya helps us with. All the thoughts will come to minimal thoughts will be there. So the mind can focus more on jnana. That is the main point of Manolaya. Sharp and focused mind, calm mind, everything will help in assimilating the jnana better. Correct. Okay. Then we can go to the next one because they are kind of affiliated shlokas. Naṣṭamānasa utkṛṣṭayoginaḥ Kṛtyamasti kim svasthitiṃ yataḥ. Shaila.
Hari Om, madam. Hari Om, madam. Naṣṭamānasotkṛṣṭayoginaḥ Kṛtyamasti kim svasthitiṃ yataḥ. Naṣṭa of the mind. Like yogi is one, mind is dead. Ignorance in the mind is dead means is self-realized. It is not, it is the true established in the true nature. He has no body, mind, intellect. Here, as it says, Naṣṭa of the mind, like the ignorance. And yogi is a Shreshta yogi.
Utkṛishta yogi.
So, yeah, Utkṛishta yogi. And all dharma, artha, kama, moksha, all are irrelevant. He acts on only for the loka kalyana. And also, like whatever dress he has or whatever outward look, it doesn't matter. He will be like a common man, like a Narasimha Prabhuji. He does all his work in self-establishment for the Jagat Hita. Like Gnani and Ajnani also is been referred here. The difference, like whatever angle, in which angle they are viewing in the vision. Gnani is ego, Ajnani's ego is still there. But in the Gnani, there is no ego. Only purified ego is there.
Correct.
And he's always like in a pure realized form, where there is no difference for him. Everything everywhere is the pure consciousness through the Gnani's point of view.
So it asks, is a Kṛtyamasti kim? What is there for a Gnani to do is what Ramana is asking here. So what does it mean? Does it mean that Gnani will sit quietly doing nothing? What remains to be done for this Utkṛishta yogi is what Ramana is asking. Everything is done and dusted for him. Nothing to be done. What do you say?
Jagat Kalyan.
He can, it is his choice. He may or may not do. It is his choice. So that is why we have these 4 varieties of jnanis. Bekadre martini, illandre illa. Naṣṭamānasaha, for the one whose mind has been destroyed. Such a person is called the Utkṛishta yogi. The opposite is Nikrishta yogi, the one who is, below par sage. This one is a Utkṛishta yogi, exalted sage. Kṛtyamasti kim, is there anything further to be done for him? He is a Jivan Mukta. Indeed, no. Nothing is there for him to do. Svasthitiṃ yataḥ, since he has already gained abeyance in the self. He is already established in the self. For him, nothing is there to be done. This is the shloka per se, which has Shaila has explained beautifully. So, what else can we add? For the Utkṛishta yogi, the exalted yogi, the manas is destroyed, ajnana is destroyed, mind is an instrument to be used at his will. He is the master of the mind, whereas for us, the mind is my master. What is the meaning of mind is my master? One example. For example, take this statement, I am sad. I am sad. Who is the master here in this sentence? What is wrong with this sentence? Will the Jnani ever say, I am sad?
No, because I am is always happy, in bliss. It
Correct.
is my ego that is sad or happy or angry that I attach with I am.
Correct. That yogi, Utkrishta yogi, is always aware of this. Whereas I'll very happily, very easily let my guard down. Isn't it? I'm not yet in control of this. Again, when I say I am not in control, actually my mind is not in control of this. The mind is still in control of the BMI. Isn't it? Look at just imagine the control of that Utkrishta yogi. Look at the control. For us, this has become so natural. When I say I always refer to the small I most of the time in my daily utterances, isn't it? Very, very sahaja samadhi about this small I. Whereas the Utkrishta yogi is always in sahaja samadhi with the higher self. And then, as an opposite, there is a Nikrishta yogi. Because Nikrishta yogi is also, he is a yogi only. The Nikrishta fellow, he is a yogi only, but this Nikrishta yogi is bound by the power of siddhis. We see many sadhus doing a lot of siddhis. They are also yoga only, because they have attained a great degree of control over the mind. They can make vibhuti appear, something disappear. They can levitate. All these siddhis they have gained, they are called Nikrishta yogis. We don't care about these kind of yogis. We want the state of the Utkrishta yogi. For him, completely mind is not in control. He is in control. Even for Nikrishta, the fellow is in control of the mind. He can make it do what he wants. But the Utkrishta yogi is the target for us. The Nukrishta yogi, of course, he operates due to desire and ajnana. He wants, again, that ego is very, very strong in the Nikrishta yogi. Okay. So the exalted yogi, mind is an instrument to be used at will. What else is there? So, does this Utkrishta yogi, he is not bound by any do's and don'ts. See, other general people in the Veda, in the Vedas, there's this karma kanda in which 5 types of karmas are compulsory for all of us. Jivatmas. 5 karmas are compulsory. Anyone knows what are these 5 kinds of karmas?
Nitya karma.
Correct. Amele?
Pitru karma. No, I don't think so.
Is
it like Panchayajna? Is it like Panchayajna?
Yeah, Nitya karma is correct. Nitya karma is what we do every day. Wake up in the morning, brush our teeth, wash my face. The entire things that...
Naimittika karma. Naimittika karma.
Correct. Nitya karma, Naimittika karma. Can you describe what is Naimittika karma, Ram Prakash ji?
For the specific purpose.
Like?
For a specific purpose.
Like?
Kamya karma. Kamya karma.
Correct. Kamya karma correct. Naimittika example can you give? Yes.
Naimittika, no.
Correct. The Shodasha karmas that we do for every child who is born.
Okay. Upanayana and all. Okay.
Yeah, they are all called Naimittika karmas. Correct. And then Kamya karma. Correct.
Kamya karma, Nishkama karma, and then 4 aitu. 5th one, no idea.
Naishkarma.
Prayaschitta karma.
Correct. Prayaschitta karma is there.
Oh, okay.
These are the 5 kind of karmas that we should do. That is mandated by the Vedas for all the Jivatmas. But for the Utkrishta yogi, nothing. For all of us, there is vidhi and nishiddha. Nishiddha karma is there. Sorry, that is one of the karmas. Nishiddha karma. Don'ts are there. Do's and don'ts. Vidhi and nishiddha. For the Utkrishta yogi, none of them apply.
Purnima, can you just briefly explain all these?
Yeah.
Nitya is the regular, the daily karma. Namitya karma is what? Which one?
Naimitika
That if we do once in a while, like...
see, when a child is born, there are Shodasha karma that one should do till the through the lifespan. Shodasha means 16. Okay. So when the child is born, you do this cradle shastra. Okay. We have, in the south at least we do. You put the child in the cradle, no? Tottilu shastra we call it. Starting from there, and then we do Namkaran. And then we do this one, Anna Prashna we do. And then we do Aksharabhyasa for the baby. All this is done. They are all called Naimitika karma. You better do it. And then we do Mundan. And then for boys, we do Upanayanam, Aksharabhyasa, and then Upanayanam. And then we do Shadi, marriage. And then the last is this one, whatever, the funeral mein jo karta hai. So like this, some 16 things are there. Shodasha karmas are to be undergone by a jiva who is born. So the family members have to do that. Okay, they are naimitika. Naimitika.
Right.
And there are nishiddha
Then
karma.
kamya.
Kamya is what we do for our, maybe I want to build a house, I want to have a baby, I want to have a promotion. They're all arthas, for attaining dharma, artha, kama, we all have to do so many things. No, of the 4 purusharthas, artha, kama, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Moksha is there. That's also there. But for life, we have to do, in a dharmic manner, we have to do, we have to earn money and we have to fulfill our desires. For that, we have to do kamya. So many yajnas are there for that. For Gruha Pravesha, we do some yajnas. Vastu yajna, Gana Homa, this, that. So many things are there for kamya. For fulfillment of desires. Kamya. So, Nitya, Naimitika, Kamya, Nishiddha karma is there. Nishiddha, don't do. What I should do? Don't gamble. Don't do alcohol. Don't drink alcohol. Like this, many Nishiddhas are there. Not to be done. They are against dharma. And then there is the Prayaschitta karma. Very good. Anupama pointed out. Prayaschitta karma is to atone for any sins that we have done. We have to do Prayaschitta karma. Like when we start building a house, we are disturbing the land. So many creatures have made their, life in that on that land, piece of land. Reptiles, rodents, all the creatures, creepy crawlies, and all these frogs and all that. Birds, trees are there, foliage, everything we destroyed. So for that we do Prayaschitta karma. We do that also. It's part of the Gruha Pravesha etiquette. There's a list of things that you do for seeking forgiveness for all these people. Prayaschitta karma. These are all the things. Yeah. But for a jnani, no vidhi, no nishiddha. Vidhi means what has to be done in a krama. Nishiddha means what has not to be done. For a yogi, nothing applies. He can go smoke his cigar, no problem. There is no karma which attaches to him. Why? 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 Tell me why there is no karma attached to the yogi.
There is no doership.
There is no doership at all, completely. The karmas that he do are like a line drawn on water. It does not leave a groove. He might eat 1,000 jalebis per day, but it will not leave a vasana on him. So beautiful, what a state. Just to listen and imagine that state itself is so pavani, isn't it?
Yes.
In which case, Why does he do anything? What is there for him to be? See, the purpose of life is to get jnana. He has not got jnana. He has become Jivan Mukta. What else is there for him to do? Nothing is there for him to do.
To show the others the path.
That's what he does. He does it for the Loka Kalyana. Without any raga dvesha, without any compulsion, without any preferences. He is not overwhelmed. See, for us, if some job is given, first we feel, can I do it or not? Anta. And for this jnani, Loka Kalyana is his job. And he is not overwhelmed by that at all. Imagine. Not overwhelmed by the job that he has taken up. He can take it up at will. He can drop it at will also. Nothing is compulsory. Yeah. And if a jnani has some vasanas, they are not called vasanas. They are called vibhutis. Why does Krishna appear in many forms? It's the vibhuti of Krishna. It's not a vasana. The 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is full of the vibhutis of Krishna. How beautiful, how many forms he describes in that entire chapter. I am the Garuda among birds. I am the Narada among sages. I am this, all the best things among everything he states as this is me. Among flowers, I am the lotus. Is that Krishna's vasana? No. It is called the vibhuti. And even jnanis like Ramana, they have preferences for some cow or a dog. This shows special love for certain things. Even Nisarga Datta Maharaj used to smoke he used to enjoy his bidi. That will not create a problem for the devotees. And our Prabhuji also loves to keep on eating banana. Or he keeps tossing things into his mouth. But for us, it is joy to watch our master doing all that. They are joyful ways for the devotees to identify with their master. So we go with sweets. We go with something for the jnani. For him, nothing matters. For us, it is nice to associate our master with these little things. That's why we associate Krishna. In the Vibhuti, we associate Krishna with everything that we see. Everything. Vibhuti of Krishna. So like that. I think that's all we have to talk about this. So as far as the body-mind complex is concerned, the jnani has got minimal needs. Minimal needs. If he has got 10 pairs of dhotis, good. He has got 1 pair of dhoti, very good, no problem. We all know the story of the Janaka Maharaja, no? He was a Maharaja, he was a Mahabhogi, he was a royal, he was a monarch. Yet, when his Mithila was burning, what did he say? One guard came running and said, Maharaj, your Mithila is burning. Then Janaka said, what do you mean, my Mithila? My Mithila is not there. It's just Mithila, the city which is burning. It will burn tomorrow. Mithila was there. Before I was Maharaj also, Mithila was there. After I am gone also, Mithila will still be there. It is not my Mithila. So that is the Jnani state when he looks at his material possessions. So another question. So how does, for Jnani, he does a lot of Loka Kalyana. He requires funds. How do the funds come? Is it sanctioned by God? Funds have to come, no.
The universe provides. Amritandamayi story, the Amrita hospital story.
Correct. Tell that story, no? We want to listen. How the universe itself becomes a partner in Loka Kalyana project of the Jnani.
There was a doctor whose mother was diagnosed with the last stage of cancer, and she was a devotee of Mata Amritandamayi, and she called up her son who was in US and said, see, I have only a few days left because doctors has given me this time. I am in last stage of cancer. So what he did, out of love, he wind up there and he came here. By the time he came here, she was completely cured. She said, it is only with the grace of Amma that I got cured. But he was not such a believer, and he was shocked to listen to such a story. So he went and met Amma, and he felt it. He understood her. And he asked, I want to open a hospital and I also want to help people here only. So he said, where can I get a hospital? How can I go? She said, she pointed out an open space and said, you go and put a chair and start your work. He asked, then how will the building will come? I need a hospital and all. She said, just you start there, it will come. And that is how the great hospital with all kind of facility that started coming. And today Amrita Hospital, it has wonderful facilities in Asia.
See, that sankalpa is called what? The Gnani sankalpa is called the
Shuddha sankalpa.
Shuddha sankalpa, it is called Satya sankalpa. Okay. Ours is Shuddha sankalpa. If we make a sankalpa to do some dharmic act, Jivatmas, ours is Shuddha sankalpa. For the Jnanis, it is called Satya sankalpa because it is ordained by God himself. Satya sankalpa. That's why when they utter something, it is simply the truth. It is Satyam only.
That is an example of Satya Sankalpa from Prabhuji, that starting of Lalita Sahasranama chanting.
Okay.
That actually what happened there, suddenly something came to his mind, and I think 1 crore or 1 lakh something, he said some more number, and and that too, there was only a time of around 2 to 3 months, if I am right, if I remember correctly, at that time, for the Navaratri. So by Navaratri, it should be like this. And the way it came out, and the number, it was beyond the number what Guruji had told. So they were able to achieve within 2 months. That number of stotra was done by the devotees. So it was that time is to start with it. Satya Sankalpa at that time to explain how it happened so much. Everybody were wondering whether it will happen or not. But it happened in a magnanimous way. That is Satya Sankalpa.
Yes. We will have doubts. If something like that has been announced, immediately our mind will go into a spin, will calculate and all that. But for the Jnani, it's a Satya Sankalpa. Similarly,
correct.
Now Prabhuji has started this Viskit Gurukul. Inspiration. And he has started. How everything is falling into place. People are interested. Everything are coming. This Sankalpa is from June. It will go, no, Anupama? They will start.
Yes, this academic year they are starting.
This academic year, they will start this Viskits Gurukul. The Gurukula is being started by Light of Self Foundation. What do you say? Just got the inspiration like that.
Fantastic. That is Guruji's Sankalpa's power.
Because
that is the hour of the need.
That is the
need of the hour, right?
Need of the hour also. Correct. And so Krishna has also said, I am in a Jnani. If there is any desire, I am the desire. You know, I am the one who is manifesting as the desire in the Jnani. Dharmo viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi, he says. Whatever desire is there, which is not against dharma, I am that. Krishna says in Vibhuti Yoga. So the desire of the Jnani is also Ishvara only. Everything is Ishvara for Jnani. That is nice. Good. Svasthitiṃ gatam. So that means svasthitiṃ gatam. Svasthitiṃ. It is his own states. My own state, I am abiding in my own state. And for the Jnani who is abiding in his own state, everything is an extension of himself or herself. There is oneness. Guruji keeps talking about this oneness. How can I feel oneness? Only when I'm abiding in my own self. Everything and everybody is an extension of me. That is the status of a Gnani. Okay. That's it, people, for today. Next, we'll take up 15, 16, 17. Naṣṭamānasotkṛṣṭayoginaḥ. Adaitala. 15 gone done. Drishyavaritam chittamatmanaḥ chittvadarṣanam tattvadarṣanam. 16. Yes, who will take up 16 today? Who hasn't taken up? Subba Lakshmi has not taken up. Will you take, Lakshmi ji? 16. And Padmaja also. No? Padmaja, you can take up now. 16.
Okay, so I'll make a note of it. Which is the 116 for me?
Drishyavaritam chittamatmanaḥ chittvadarṣanam tattvadarṣanam. 16. Lakshmi and Padmaja.
Okay, Padmaja and
Lakshmi will not be in station, Purnima.
You told Alva you're not there.
okay, so who else is there?
One of us only have to take Indra. Rajni, Indra, Shaila.
I can take Purnima, 16.
Indra and
Padmaja and Indra. 16, 17.
Mānasam tu kim margane krute naiva mānasam margamarjavat. Anupama and Shaila.
Anupama and Shaila.
Okay, ji.
Next, 18.
Vrittayastavaham vrittimāśritaah vrittayo mano vidvaham manaha.
Rajni.
Rajni
I'll
and
take it
Purnima.
Okay.
So you made a note, Padmaja, you will post it for us?
I will post it. Done.
Done. Great.
Okay.
Okay. So, shall we close? Anything
Yes.
else you want to share, people?
Yeah, we'll close it.
We can close. Om Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma mamrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Nanu Nanimbudu Nanalla Ideha Manabuddhi Nanalla Satchidanandatma Shivananu Nane Shivoham 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 Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha samasthaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samasthaha sukhino bhavantu. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Yes.